Okay, today let's take a quick look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends 85th Anniversary Superior Spider-Man. Oh, and I've been waiting for this one. I know. I am a tried and true X-Men fan. That is my main focus when it comes to Marvel. But I'm also a sucker for unique characters and definite upgrades, and that's what we have here. Oh, and Spider-Man. I can't get enough of comic book Spider-Man. I may have said more than a few times that I'm burnt out on MCU Spider-Man and all its infinite variations. And yeah, the comic books are the same way, but I don't know. They're a little bit more near and dear. Hell, I just bought a Ben Reilly Spider-Man a few months back, and I do not care about Ben Reilly Spider-Man. But I do have an attachment to Superior Spider-Man because that was the last big comic book story arc that I actually read, at least when it comes to Spider-Man. Now, I don't remember a lot of it because it's been some years, but I still love this design. First, looking at the packaging, it's what we've been seeing with the 85th anniversary stuff. Some sleek black, some big bold letters for the names, there's Marvel, there's some gold trim celebrating 85 years. On the side, there's your shot of Superior Spider-Man. On the back, an even bigger shot, because why not? Down here's warning small parts. Don't put the pointy, maybe good, maybe bad Spider-Man in your mouth. On the other side, there's your logos, Marvel Legends, Marvel 85 years, a little bit of window on top. There it is again on bottom, legalese barcode. Let's get this open. Oh, before we get to the actual figure, I will say that I picked this up at Target for $24.99. I think I pre-ordered it for that same price on Amazon when it first went up, but the MSRP is $29.99. That's what they have it listed for on Hasbro Pulse, and it's kind of hard to argue with that. So if you want to save a little money, you may want to check out Target. They changed the package on me again, and every time I have to figure out how to open the box. With Marvel Legends, I got used to the side panel. That was easy. Oh, what? Get out of the way. Here's WALDOES, she said. Looking at it like this, it does seem a little stacked, a little packed. I can see why they may consider this a deluxe figure and want to charge $29.99. But that makes getting it for $25 even sweeter. First up, let's compare these two and see how far Hasbro has come over the years. I don't even remember when this was released, but you can tell that it is an older figure. The arms don't go down any further than this. The legs don't go closer than this. The hips stick out all crazy. And just the overall proportions are, whoa, look at the neutral position on the new one. The proportions, how the arms lay, how the legs come down, just everything is better. This is an improvement. Oh man, look how the shoulders slope down, while this one is nice, good posture, looks strong. Yeah, not to mention quite a bit taller. Looking at the sculpt, the torso and the arms are brand new. This was confirmed by the sculptor back when the figure was first revealed. Plus the muscles don't match up with any of the other Spider-Mans. They're close, they're similar shapes, but different. Especially in the shoulders, check it out next to the retro-carded Spidey. Again, familiar, but the elbow is a different size. It's pinless, which doesn't really matter. They can modify these to be pinless, but it's a different shape here and there. The arm is also shortened slightly, maybe to make it a bit more compact, because looking at the torso, there's definitely muscles there. I'm not going to deny that. But it doesn't have quite the V shape that we see with some Spider-Mans. This one's a little squared off. It's not quite as wide up top. It's more lithe, I guess. But the legs are definitely reused. There is no denying those thigh muscles. Same knees, same lower legs, and then the feet with the toe joints. The bracers are separate pieces that are pegged in on the back of the forearm, so they don't come off, they don't move. Well, I mean, anything comes off with an X-Acto blade and a little heat, but they're not just going to fall off on the shelf. Black plastic, black plastic, black plastic until you get to some red down on the toes. There's some on the heels too. On the lower palm of the glove. But here's the distinguishing characteristic of Superior Spider-Man. You have that spider logo working in from the blackness of the rest of the costume, and then the crazy webbing. This looks more like a web you'd find out in nature than the traditional Spider-Man costume that is very symmetrical. It has all these lines, but not everything's attached. Well, I guess this comes down, but then going across, it's like, oh, it's going over here, diagonal. Hey, are you supposed to connect? Why are you doubling up? What's going on here? Goes up the neck and over the head and into the face, and there we get the Spider-Man eyes. But it's almost a sinister look with the shape of those, and then again, The webbing just not distracts you, it kind of throws you off. You think you're looking at Spider-Man, but then there's something subtle, something that makes you think, wait a second, what is going on here? A sinister look to this. For the head that was on it in the package, the eye lenses are very interesting. They were painted in a way to make you think that it's reflecting the cityscape back at you. That just adds to the beautiful busyness of everything. I've looked at it like this a couple of times and thought, man, the legs are long, but which may be a byproduct of reuse and new. So it doesn't bother me because it's Spider-Man. Oh no, a Spider-Man has awkward proportions. He still looks badass standing there. You know, as Spider-Mans tend to do, just stand there. Engineering-wise, the thing about reusing Renew Your Vows legs and getting that toe joint in there is that it doesn't use the hinge and floating upper torso setup. This goes back to a traditional waist swivel with a hinge mid-torso. I can only think it's because of this. Those WALDOES plug into a backpack, which we'll get to accessories and see all that. Maybe it needed to have more room to be stable, so plugging it here, would that get in the way of floating? Because the ball would have to go up in there? That's almost the same setup as Superior Octopus. Backpack with tentacles on it, plugs into the back, and there's a floating upper torso, but there's no hinge. With a hinge there, they would have had to push this up a little, maybe. I don't know, is that deeper holes or something? Because this isn't the strongest connection in the world. In fact, prove me wrong, you son of a bitch. I just have to think there's a reason for backtracking a little for this. But hey, you got your pinless joints. Let's test it out. Renew Your Vows with the floating and then the hinge down here with a casting cave head, just in case you're looking at that. Crunch there, crunch there. And with this, crunch there. What do we got when we compare? I will say, here, you can look up and you can still turn the upper body. Oh yeah, look at that. That's very Spider-Man-like. You can't do that here. You turn it, and all you got is this. So Renew Your Vows is still the Superior Spider-Man. See what I did there with the extra. While we're talking articulation, there is a hinge. They went back to that in the neck too. Then there's a ball on top that pops the head on, so can look up, can look down, but that does affect the tilt. That's all we got. Peter? My boy. Butterfly joint goes forward to there, back to there. Pin out to the shoulder, rotates all the way around with a hinge that goes past 90. Swivel at the bicep. Double elbow. Okay, that gauntlet doesn't get in the way. It doesn't go all the way up, but it's pretty damn close. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge. We've talked this to death, but crunchticles arcs way back. Swivel at the waist. Ball coming out to the hip, kicks forward, kicks back, kicks out. Oh, better than a lot of Spider-Man. I nearly forgot the drop down hip. Let's kick up now. Okay, yeah, does get more range that way, but not that way. Swivel at the thigh. Double knee. Let's see, do a little adjustment. Oh yeah, I repent of a lifetime of villainy. Swivel at the boot or shin, I guess. Hinge at the ankle goes way back, goes forward. Front facing pin for rocker. Toe joint. For accessories out of the package, it comes with 2 fists, and it's Marvel Legends. Of course, the hands are gonna pull right out of the forearms. Then you can plug in the 2 thwips, and then there's 2 angry clawed hands, which may stay on my figure because I like that edge. Touched on the holes in the back, that is for a backpack, because backpacks go in the back. First option is just the pack itself. No holes, no nothing. This is in neutral mode when he's just swinging around the city, not doing much. But then there's this thicker pack with holes in the sides, and you know what those are for. Where's Waldo? There they are. Plug the licorice sticks into there. Ooh, that is tight, which I get. They don't want that falling out. Not bad. Oops. Hey, stop it. They almost suffer from their own weight. As long as they are, yeah, they're going to be floppy because they're thin and very, very long with 3 joints in each of, well, 4 joints in each of them. We're going to take this and okay, that's a lot tighter than Superior Octopus. Very secure on the back. Each Waldo has a hinge and swivel. Here at the base, you can turn it or hinge back, and there's very heavy detents. In fact, each one has 3 positions. Back, straight out, and then there's forward. And out of the package, they were super tight. I recommend holding it as close as possible to the joint and then popping it this way, straighten it back out, and then pop it forward. If this was a Toy Biz figure, they'd be having a ball because they get to add a big old number to the packaging. 89 points of articulation. And I'll be damned, can hold the weight of the figure up. It's precarious because these are still a bit flimsy. But if you put them in this position where they're kind of close together and then kind of ease them out so they're flexing on themselves into each other, yeah, it can hold up, but yeah, it may work its way down. It all comes down to the stability of the points on the floor. Finally, we talked about the head that's reflecting buildings back at you in the lenses, but there's also an alternate head with pearlescent eyes. It's not the same sculpt, it's different lenses. This one has more angles to it, a little bit wider. Dang, that's very tight on the head ball too. Is that a sculpt from a different figure? Because that is dragging on that ball joint. I wonder what that would look like with some chrome paint. Hell, I wonder what this would look like with some chrome paint. I'm gonna need a second one. Yeah, that one goes right on like it was made for this. Getting into sizes, the length of each Waldo is about 7.5 inches. And with the backpack, the span is about 15.5. And then the figure stands at about 6.25, which comes off pretty standard next to other Marvel Legends Spider-Mans like Renew Your Vows and Amazing Fantasy 15. And then here's Tentacles Galore with Doc Ock and Superior Octopus. I wonder why they didn't use this body more, except for the lack of a hinge somewhere. And just because I had him out with the last review, here's the Medicom Mafex Symbiote Spidey and Venom. So at the end of the day, it's not the most agile of Spider-Mans, but it's a damn fine Spidey. It can still do way more than the original Superior Spider-Man, and I know that's not an excuse. Yes, it is an upgrade to however old that figure is, but it's not up to the standards of the newest, latest, and greatest Spider-Mans. I gotta think it's kind of due to the implementation of the Waldo pack. Maybe this is more stable, maybe this is more secure, or something. I don't know, but because of all the dynamicness of the Waldos, for me at least, it kind of offsets the lack of the tourney at the top of the torso. Not completely, because, oh, I would love that extra movement. Oh, now I'm imagining the Waldo being able to turn the body with the legs out to the side and the Waldos doing their thing and kind of flying this and that direction. Spidey-Man with extra stuff. But the scales kind of tip towards presence too, and man, does this figure have presence with that design and everything. It's just sleek, it's slick, it's nice to look at. I'm a fan of the Superior design. Again, I would love to have full torso movement, but it wasn't meant to be, at least with this release. I guess I'll wait for another few years and see what happens then. But until then, I'll be completely happy with this. It has some faults, but man, did I have fun doing this review. I had a ball, I had fun. That's a win in my book. And now it goes on my shelf, it'll look badass, and I'll be walking by and, oh, look at the Waldo sticking out from the thing. Or maybe I'll hang him up by the Waldo. Who knows? The future is wide open. And it's a lot brighter with Superior Spider-Man in it.